Hello, dear students. This is your Professor Lázaro Pino. And we have today the meeting for week number 2. This week, we have a lab quiz, a lab report, and a worksheet for Tuesday at 11. You can see these activities going to D2L. All the activities will be submitted by email using a Word document to this email. The lab report, well, you can find in D2L in week 2 a video about measurements. You have to watch that video, and after that you have to write the different steps, the measurements done by the professor, and using this data, you will write a lab report. The lab report has, first of all, a title. The title is Measurements in Chemistry. The introduction will be 1 or 2 paragraphs that will speak about the theory of the lab. In this case, you are going to speak about the international system, used in the measurement. What is a measurement? Nothing more than this. The purpose are the goals of experiment. In this case, what are the purpose? Well, we are making measurements in a chemistry lab. The methods and material or equipment. In this case, you have to write a different instrument that you will use. The ruler, the scale, the thermometers, and it's very important to write the precision of the instrument that you are going to use. The experimental procedure are orders that indicate the different operation during the lab. For example, measure the length of a pencil. Number 2, measure the weight of a metal cylinder. These are the different orders that you will write in the experimental procedure. And always you will number this order. The results could be tables, operations, and graphs. In this case, are tables where you're going to write the results of the different measurements done by the professor in the video. The discussion will be an explanation of the importance of the result. In this case, you can write why it's important to learn how to do a measurement in chemistry labs. The conclusion could be an answer of the purpose of experiment. If the purpose of this experiment was learning how to do measurements in chemistry, then you can write it as conclusion. In this lab, we have learned how to do measurements of length, weight, and so on. And the references could be the web pages, books, or other sources that you use during this experiment. In this case, you're going to use a video, and also you can use the book that is for your lecture, or you can watch the video that I sent you for this week in how making a lab report or how writing a lab report. What is a measurement in chemistry? Well, a measurement is a quantitative observation in that uses numbers and units. The number tells comparison, and the units tells us the scale that you are using. If it is in kilograms, in meters, centimeters, or whatever. The scientific notation is a procedure that we use in order to simplify big numbers or small numbers. For example, 345 is a big number. So we move the dot that we're supposed to have at the end of the number to the left 2 times in order that we obtain a number only 1 digit before the dot. This digit must be different from 0. As we move the dot 2 spaces to the left, we multiply by 10 and the exponent will be 2. That are the different steps we moved or spaces that we moved the dot to the left. If we are in front of a small number, we have to move the dot 2 spaces to the right. In this case, the exponent will be -2. The units that are used in order to make measurements are the English system and the international system. The international systems come from the metric system. The international system is used all over the world, but in the United States, beside that, we have the English system. In the international system, the units for mass is kilogram for length, meter for time, second, for temperature, Kelvin, for electric current, ampere, and for amount of substance, the mole. The mole is very important in chemistry. We are going to use it later. Prefixes are used to change the size of the unit. For example, mega represents multiply the number by 10 to the 6th. Kilo represents multiplying the number by 10 to the 3rd, and so on. These prefixes are very, very important. When you are doing a measurement, for example, the length of a pin is 2.85. In order to get this number, of course, centimeters, you are sure, according with the instrument, that the length of the pin is 2.8 centimeters, but it's a little more. How much more? You are not sure about that. So what you do in this case is to try to divide the scale between the two numbers that are in your instrument into 10 parts. And then you consider or estimate the last digit. The last digit in a measurement is always uncertain. And we call this the estimated digit. Significant figures are the numbers that we have in a measurement. For example, 3, 4, 5, 6, this number has not zeros. So we consider this 4 significant figures. The zeros could be significant or not. If they are to the left, we don't consider the zeros significant. In this case, we say that this number has only 2 significant figures. But if a zero is in between, we say, we consider the zero significant. We say in this case that we have 4 significant figures. If the zeros are to the right, but after a dot, we consider the zeros significant, then this number has 4 significant figures. In this case, there is no dot, so this zero is not significant. And this number has only 2 significant figures. Exact numbers are those that come from a conversion. 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters, or from counting, for example, 9 pencils. You can count the pencils, and 9 is an exact number. Rounding off, well, it is not new for you. If the number that you have to skip, in this case is 4, is lower than 5, we skip that number, and the rounding number is 5.6. In this case, the number that you will skip is higher than 5, then you add a 1 to the 6, and the resulting number is 5.7. In this case, you have to round up to 2 significant figures. The first number you have to skip is 6. It's higher than 5, then you add 1 to the 8, and the resulting number is 3.9. Well, if you're going to round up a number resulting from an operation, never round off in between. You use all the numbers in your calculator, and then at the end, you use the rules to round up. What are the significant figures in a mathematical operation? Well, in multiplication and division, you take into account the number with less significant figures. In this case, it's 5.5 that has 2 significant figures. You multiply both numbers, your calculator will reflect this number. But you cannot reflect that number. If not, you will lose points. You have to report only 2 digits corresponding with the factor with least significant figures. In addition and subtraction, you take into account the number with least digits. In this case, is 2.2. You can make a line through the 2, and then you will report until the 7. But the first number you will skip is higher than 5, then you have to round up to 37.8. And this is the number you have to report. Conversion factors are very important in chemistry. A conversion factor is made from a conversion that you can find in any table. I recommend you to print tables for conversions. The conversion factor will have always the the unit that from where you are converting at the bottom, and the unit that you are converting to on the top. For example, 1 meter is 100 centimeter, and you're going from meter to centimeter. This is a conversion factor. The conversion factor are used in conversions. For example, you have a given unit and you have a desired unit. You use the conversion factor, you multiply your conversion factor by the given unit, and you get the desired unit. This method is known as dimensional analysis. This is the math in chemistry. You must pay close attention to this method because it's the math in chemistry. If you don't understand now or reading the lecture, you can go to YouTube and you can watch a lot of videos explaining the use of conversion factors. This is very important. Pay close attention, and you have to learn this method this week. Example, you have to convert 24 kilometers per minute into meters per second. Then you write at the left the given unit and at the right the desired unit. First, you have to use a conversion factor to convert kilometers into meters. Meters will be at the top because it's the desired unit, and kilometers at the bottom because it's the given unit. You go to a table and you find that 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. And then you use this factor to do the conversion. But also you have to convert minutes into seconds. You know that 1 minute is 60 seconds. But you write minutes at the top in such a way that you can cancel this unit with the given one. And the desired one will be, in this case, in the bottom because it is in the bottom in the desired unit. After that, you cancel out all the units in such a way that you get only the units that you're looking for. Then you multiply all the numbers above and all the numbers below. You do the division and you get the result. This is the method used in chemistry that is known as dimensional analysis. One problem that you had in the research paper was that you didn't put the references in the body of the work. You can write the sources using the last name of the author and into parentheses the year of the source that you have used to express an idea and the page from where it was taken it. Or you can use this other method that you can observe here. But it is very important because if not, we consider that you have stolen the idea because you didn't express the source. And it is known as plagiarism, and you can lose all the points if you don't do this. This time, I didn't take points from you, but at the end of this semester, you will have another research paper that worth 50 points, and I will observe if you use all the rules. Then go to complete the chapter number 2, mastery, that is the homework in all V2 by Thursday, 11 p.m. And remember that all the assignments will be submitted to this email using only Word documents. Go to D2L and in content, in the week number 2, in this case, you will find all the activities. The due days are lab activities, Tuesday, 11 p.m. Homework, Thursday, 11 p.m. You can ask me for a meeting to clarify any doubt. And well, that's all for today. Every week, I will send you a meeting like this, and you can clarify all the different activities. Okay, then see you next week.